Your website could be the most important part of your business. Is it actually doing work for you? Hello, my name is Mike Lloyd. I've been a professional photographer for 12 years and teaching photography and business, more importantly, for the last decade also. And one of the things that I've learned, struggled with, and then got way better at is developing an effective website. Because most of us think, okay, I need a website. Let me get some photos up, people will love my work, and then book me. But it doesn't work like that. Maybe in the beginning, a couple friends might book you, and you coincidentally had a website. But after that, you need new people to find you, and then to want to book you. And your website can do that if you set it up right. So in this video, I'm going to go through some other photographers' websites and give them feedback, which I'm also going to be sharing with you. There's some key takeaways in here that I'm really excited for you to check out. Because again, this can be a very effective tool if you know what you're doing, but most of us have no idea what we're doing until we learn from someone who's already been there. But that's why you're here, because you are about to learn way more about how to have an effective website. Enjoy. All right. So this one was sent to me by James. Move this little guy over here to the side. Dimensions Photography. So the very first thing that I notice is that you do weddings and families and newborns and seniors and raves. But also we're on a fine art page. So that to me seems really confusing as to like what do you specialize in? I'm not really sure, especially because if this is the boudoir page and it's not even linked in the main navigation bar there, if I was a boudoir client coming to the website from Google or something, I'm probably not even going to know you do it, which means it's probably not even going to show up in Google search results. And like the site title, fine art, or the page title rather, fine art. Cool. So if you're selling fine art, as in like just selling arts to commercial buyers, for example, I think this could be totally fine. But if you're going out trying to attract actual boudoir clients, they're never going to find you online this way. And even if they did hit this website, it doesn't say the word boudoir on here. So that would be, I think that would be really confusing and someone's just going to click away. You do have your location, so high five for that. That's another big thing that a lot of people forget is where they're actually located. Also calls to action. So your color schemes are on. I like that. I love black, white, and red also. But you've got buttons right away for someone to get a hold of you. Cool. Contact form. I would also have your email address and phone number on here and not just a form, because some people will not fill out forms no matter what. Yeah, so I'd have your email address and also your phone number on here because some people just won't fill out contact forms. But as I said, there's no boudoir or even fine art listed here in the main nav bar. So it could be hard for someone to figure out how to get back. I know they could hit the back arrow, but your URL up here also, it's not a UTM, like a tracking link. This is like a really long URL here, as opposed to it just being, dimensionsphotography.com/fine art. So if there's a way to like get rid of the rest of that, I would strongly suggest doing that. Social icons up here. I'm really digging that. Instagram, social, Dimensions Photography. Cool. So also high five for that, James. It's the same name on everything. So your site and all your social accounts are all Dimensions Photography. So that's cool. Okay. So let's just keep rolling. Beauty, digging the quote. And I believe this looks like an H1. Yeah. Okay. So one of the things this is a big SEO faux pas. So you have one H1, which is basically the title of the page or the most important concept of the page. And then you shouldn't have any other H1 tags, so no other headlines. You can have subheadlines like an H2 and H3 to divide up your sections. And it looks like you did this for the sake of typography because it looks good to have these big bold letters here. But it's confusing to Google because this tells Google this page is about fine art. This tells Google this page is about Audrey Hepburn. And so it's going to mess with your SEO if you have too many headlines that aren't actually headlines. And it looks like all of these are headlines and no real like copy. Is any of this? No, these are all H2s, all headlines. Yeah, there's no actual like copy on here. So this is going to be like impossible for Google to scan and rank. Okay, so fine art sessions. That's why you're calling them fine art. Okay, so I made the same mistake when I first got into photography. My first brand was called Shutterstop Photography. I thought it was a really cool name. But people used to call all the time like, hey, do you guys have any photographers available on whatever day? I'm like, well, it's just me. I'm a one-man show. So I called everything creative portraits because I wanted to do like fashion style portraits of people. And I didn't just want to call them portraits. So I called them creative portraits. So everything on my site was creative families, creative engagements, but no one was actually searching for that. And so no one was actually going to find any of that stuff. And even if I ran Facebook ads, which I didn't know about Facebook ads back in 2010 when I started that thing, I don't even know if they were around then. Anyway, no one would know what they were and people would be way less likely to click on them. So fine art sessions, I think would be really confusing to a client as opposed to just calling them boudoir sessions. Sometimes we have to sacrifice a little bit of that creativity to keep it functional. And I'd rather have a website that converted leads into clients than have it look and feel exactly the way I want it to. A lot of good language. I like how you broken things up into sections with different background colors. That helps break up the site, so it's not just one continuous flowing page. So that's really good too. So you say your clients, James, if you're on, is there more than one of you? Or are you solo in this this operation? This photo is repeated. Who was it? Somebody had reached out to me the other day. I don't even remember, but I was looking through their gallery and the same handful of images were just repeated over and over again. So first there were like 60 images in this gallery, which is way too many, but there were about 5 of them that were each in there like 3 times. So it is better to have fewer images on your site than to have a lot of images if they're repeated or really, really similar. This one also has a border on it, and these two don't. And this one is a different crop than the other two. And so it looks kind of off. Same thing here. They're all different crops. It just doesn't flow. It's not aesthetic. Like I like all the quotes. I love the language and it's how it's broken up. And again, more calls to action with buttons that really stand out. That's good. Cool. I would drop one of these buttons. Having 2 calls to action next to each other makes it hard for people to choose one, and then they won't choose either. So a couple of things. Where do you want your clients to go from here? Because it seems like their only option is to book you for a session from this page. And if they're not quite ready to book yet, then they're just going to leave. So to have an opt-in on here where somebody could sign up and, download a guide or something so they can get on your email list so you can keep marketing to them would be really, really powerful. I know you've got your social links on here, but I think those are like a last resort kind of thing. And then a blog with articles, helpful information, how to prepare for the shoots, client stories, things like that, would be really powerful also. So as you're going through and you get to a section, where you talk about confidence or whatever, it's like, check out so-and-so's story about how she discovered whatever, and then link to your blog post there. I think that would be really helpful also. And again, this is stuff that I did not know was even a thing until I started hiring people smarter than me to teach me how to do this stuff. So you need to show people what their next steps could be around your website, and make it really obvious as to where you want them to go and how you can stay in touch. So yeah, adding some opt-ins in here, creating a blog, change your language from fine art to boudoir if that's what you're offering, and it looks like you are, because it's going to be hard for people to find you with fine art. And then also with weddings, families, newborns, seniors, especially having seniors and boudoir on the same page, I think that's brand clash. That's going to cause problems. Oh, as in testimonials. They're raving about you. I thought you were photographing, like EDM dance parties. Okay, cool. So it's you and April. Okay, awesome. So I didn't see anything about your names on the homepage. So that would be something too, to add who you are, your photos, so we can see who you are too. And instead of having a page with raves or testimonials, these should be spread all throughout your content. So on your homepage, on your gallery page, on, some other content pages. If you work in multiple cities and have location pages, you could spread your testimonials out through there. That would be great too. But also call it testimonials or something like that if you are going to have another page. Because I totally thought you photographed dance parties. Okay. And again, so if I click your homepage here or any of the other ones, I don't know how to get back to that boudoir page. Right? And this style is so different from your boudoir stuff, like not even close. So if I were to see this on the same site as your other ones, I'd be confused as to what I was going to be getting. So that's something to keep in mind also. My commercial work is like a totally different style from my boudoir stuff, right? It's a different client who has a different need and a different problem. And I'm offering a different solution, and the photos look totally different. They're really bright, vibrant. The scene is a huge part of those images, whereas, my boudoir, just like yours, is really dramatic, dark, low key. So totally different looks and feels. I would even split boudoir off into a separate page. You could even have it be boudoir.dimensionsphotography.com if you wanted, or a whole new URL, something like that. I would even just do the whole new site. That way you can have the boudoir blog, you can have your other calls to action on there to get people on your email list, things like that. But yeah, changing all this stuff from headlines, because it's also huge on the page. So changing this stuff from headlines to actual copy, splitting the page up, and then telling people where they can go next other than booking you is going to make a huge difference in this website. But if I wanted to get a hold of you right now, I didn't see your phone number or email address or anything on this page, so I wouldn't be able to get a hold of you. And no one, I don't think ever, except maybe when contact forms first came out, it's like the hit counter at the bottom of like the old web pages from the 90s where you could see how many people were on your website. Like they were really cool at the time, but now it's like, I don't want to fill out a form and then wait for someone to get back to me. I'd rather call you right now. And if somebody wants to call and book you right now, they can't. So, especially because it's book your session. And then again, see, you don't even have the boudoir stuff in here if someone were to want to do that. And they can't actually book. There's no schedule. They're not giving you money to book a session. So that's another thing too. The call to action here is a little bit confusing because you're telling them they can book a session and this doesn't let them book the session. Also venue date. Is it venue or is it date? I'm not sure about that one either. I know I'm like totally picking everything that isn't quite working on this site. I hope you don't think I'm being mean. Like I want you to succeed. And these are the reasons that I'm seeing that a lead would hit this website if they found you in Google and not be able to book you. It's like really difficult for someone to book you through this site. Well, I hope you learned a ton from this video. I know I did when I was getting my own website critiqued the first several times, and I still learn things when I go through other people's websites. Maybe things I notice could be working well and other things to improve that keeps it top of mind for me. So it's always a learning experience, always reminding myself what I should be doing, and maybe things that I thought I did, but maybe I actually didn't and I should go back and check on. So if you have any big takeaways, let me know what they are down in the comments. And if you have any questions about your own website, anything else marketing related, you can post those down below as well. I am happy to help. I've got some other killer videos on this channel about how to bring in clients, how to charge what you're worth, what kind of products to sell, and how to pose and light your clients so you can make money doing the thing you love, taking pictures. And if you want a step-by-step walkthrough on how to quickly get to 6 figures in your business, head to boudoirguild.com and check out the trainings there. You can learn exactly what I do to make multiple 6 figures of revenue shooting boudoir photography. You are amazing. We'll see you inside.